How do you feel about George C. Scott choosing you for the role of David in The Savage Is Loose?
You could call it the role of a lifetime. Oh, my lifetime, anyway. It's the chance any actor dreams of. Be co-star and be directed by genius like George C. Scott? Hell, George Murphy could be playing my dad and still be a hell of a part for a young guy.
What kind of man is George C. Scott?
He's a nice man and an honest man. His reputation as being this gnarling, savage man is a bit overblown by the press. He's a very understanding person with a lot of love, plus being a very creative man.
How did you get along with his wife, Trish, who also stars in the movie?
I think she's beautiful, and I was very attracted to Trish.
How attracted?
Well, she's a Pisces, and so am I. We understood each other right away. What sign are you?
Virgo.
Angie Dickinson is a Virgo.
It figures that policewoman would be a Virgo. I've heard that Trish and George had some difficulties working together. Is that true?
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's very hard to live and work with anyone. I mean, I don't care if you're an insurance salesman or your wife is your partner or your secretary. It's hard to take that home with you. But from what I've heard of them working together, it strengthens them. They become more of a unit.
They sure have. You can't interview one without the other. They're a package deal, and that extends right down the line, even to Hollywood squares. If you were to win an Academy Award, would you pick it up?
Sure. I happen to dig it. I think the idea of the Academy Award is an honor from your peers. And my peers mean more to me than anything else. And my apartment is very bare, and I love to have something to furnish it with. I mean, it'd look marvelous on the mantelpiece. What a conversation piece.
Girls. Let's hear about all the girls in your life.
Various at the moment. There's no one in particular.
Come on, I don't believe you. Give me a little bit more than various.
I'll tell you who I'd like to meet. Taryn Power. And I will one day. I have a hunch we would get along famously.
You've said you want to be the biggest movie star there is. Do you have a strategy planned?
Well, my strategy doesn't agree with the people that represent me. My strategy, and it certainly is mine, is almost like war games. I mean, the competition is unbelievable. Luckily, there aren't enough good people in Hollywood who have a basic love for other people, which is a necessity, I think. Most of all, though, it takes a tremendous amount of self-discipline and patience and love. And I'm working on all of them. I mean, I don't expect anything. I just want to continue working as an actor.
Do you feel that you've taken part in a controversial film?
Definitely. I think it is a film that will be spoken about for a long time. I mean, people will say it is incest, and others will say it is incest rather than realizing that it is a very loving solution to a very trying problem for these three people. But it is also a Hollywood movie.
Do you think the film suggests incest?
It is quite suggestive by the degree of the passion of the kiss. And that was a very passionate kiss, and it's kind of indicative of a sexual relationship rather than just a peck on the cheek from a mommy to a son.
What are some of the best experiences you've had in your life?
I'm trying to think. When I graduated from high school, that was one. Let's see. Christmas is always great.
What was your life like when you were 15?
Disastrous, Bridget. It was a time I was going to hell with myself. My mom and pop had just split up. I was an only kid. And I had just moved down to Texas to be with my old man and was in a serious, terrible motorcycle accident that left me completely deaf in my right ear. I had no direction in my life. It's different being free now than it was in those times. Freedom then was lots of acid, and most of all, that changed me. At a very young age, I went through a catharsis that may never have happened for many years, may never have happened had it not been for a mind-altering drug.
You believe in Scientology, don't you? Can you explain what it really means?
The whole basis of the Scientology concept is that you can make it yourself. You can make yourself do anything. Whatever the other guy's trying to do, you can make yourself senior to it. It's kind of like Christian Science. I was raised in science, and I still practice it daily. I find it in Scientology, although I'm just beginning to learn about it, it's more helpful than anything I know. Psychiatrists don't prescribe God or any other kind of spiritual belief. And I think those are the most important things.
What kind of part would you like to play now?
I'd really like to do a play. I'd love to play Happy in Death of a Salesman. I'd love to be the boy in Equus, the part that Peter Firth is doing. It's something I know I could do. I was trying to get involved with it, but fortunately for Peter Firth, they decided to use the English company.
How do you cope with all the girls chasing you?
Well, I'll tell you, it's just the opposite. It's one of the most intriguing things I guess I've had to cope with was the homosexuality in Hollywood. Because I was a young kid on Pretty Maids All in a Row, there was a lot of that whole seduction number. I had gotten into some of that in college where they told me, either you do what we say or you're not going to be in this play. And it was a big moral thing for me at that point. I mean, everything was fine as long as you keep it at the right perspective. And personally, I didn't like the people that were seducing me. They were doing a whole number on my head, and they were saying, you know, you have to do it like this or you're not going to work in this town again, and we're telling you this now. And I was all of 17 years old.
Were big people in the film industry involved in this?
No, this is when I was in college. And it wasn't big people at all. That's why I thought it was a totally laughable situation. But I was on LSD all the time, and that didn't help things. And they were doing this whole mental seduction on me. Like telling me, either you stay or leave. And that had quite an effect on me for some time. But then you run into it every now and then in the motion picture business, and I thank God that I had the experience in college so that I could cope with it now in this business. Because, you know, I don't care about anybody's sexual preferences. I really don't. Because I wouldn't want anybody to object to my sexual preferences. But when it's forced on you for reasons of personal gain, and these people, and they say that it's going to be the end of your career if you don't comply with their wishes, I think it's low, cheap, and